The APRM commemorated its 13th anniversary.
Yesterday, the APRM held its 14th anniversary.
Now, tomorrow will be the 15th year since the African Peer Review Mechanism, Africa's governing monitoring instrument, was established.
This year marks the 20th anniversary of the African Peer Review Mechanism, launched in 2003.
Starting with a mere 6 member states in 2003, the African Peer Review Mechanism has skyrocketed to a remarkable 43 member states today. Established on 9 March 2003 by the NEPAD heads of states and government, its vision remains steadfast to build an Africa that is prosperous, peaceful, democratic, and sustainable.
In the past, they used to tell us, do this, do it this way. This time, we want to say, this is our program, and that was what happened.
And we said, it's important that this African state, which must play an important role in terms of this development, has to be empowered, must be strong enough to play this role. Hence, the peer review mechanism.
The APRM serves as the Africa Union self-monitoring tool for governance. It diligently carries out its mandate to achieve the government aspects of Agenda 2063. Specifically, it aligns with Aspiration 3 and Aspiration 4 of the Continental Agenda. As we look back over the past 20 years of the APRM's endeavors in advancing democracy and good governance across the continent, we revisit significant milestones that have profoundly changed this Africa's premier homegrown initiative on governance throughout the last 2 decades.
When we started, we were a very small organization. We were very much affiliated with the NEPAD vision. And then I've seen the organization grow.
By the time we joined it, everybody was enthusiastic to see what this new breed is, what it's going to achieve. And up to now, from 10 countries, now we are 43.
The APRM process is an unprecedented initiative. It is a unique apparatus that we created voluntarily.
A little over a decade, we have witnessed the APRM grown from strength to strength.
During its initial decade, the APRM experienced rapid growth. Nonetheless, this growth was soon interrupted between 2014 to 2016, which translated into an opportunity for the mechanism to adapt to changing realities within Africa and beyond, and to tackle institutional hurdles. Thus, a decision was made to revitalize the mechanism.
I am determined, with your support, to see to it that the APRM is revitalized and realigns its rightful place as an effective and innovative governance tool for our continent.
And then in 2016, our current CEO, Professor Maloka, came and we were revitalized. And revitalization brought a lot of new energy into the building. We were able to bring in a lot more reviews in our core mandate, but we also added a lot of other synergistic programs.
The results were clearly, first of all, the recommitment of the member states to the process of the APRM.
The revitalization process has strategically positioned the APRM to oversee, assess, and monitor the implementation of critical government facets across the continent. This revitalization process was structured around a 3-pronged strategy involving restoration, reinvigoration, and renewal. The aim was to bring the APRM back in sync with the evolving landscape and to address the challenges it had encountered. Furthermore, the mechanism was fully integrated into the AU system under the patronage of His Excellency President Idriss Déby of Chad. This shift was poised to become a game changer for the APRM, marking a significant progress in the governance landscape.
The African Peer Review Mechanism has proven to be an essential tool in the promotion and exercise of the good governance desired by the African Union.
The APRM, it's a mirror. So when you look at yourself in a mirror and you see that you have a pimple, you don't break the mirror. You go and fix the pimple. So that's really the whole logic of the APRM.
APRM has this way of check and balances. And when you are doing something, you have a way of check and balances. It puts you on your toes to do the right thing at all the time.
I don't want us to be told what to do. And if we don't want to be told what to do, I think there are accepted or standard norms of governance that we should now embrace as a continent. And I think the APRM comes in handy.
The ultimate aim is to empower the African citizens to own their governance agenda. And I think this is the beauty of the African peer review mechanism that we are celebrating today.
APRM is a firm statement of the resolve of African countries to strengthen effective governance and inclusive development.
Since its establishment, the mechanism has celebrated several accomplishments, including deepening democracy and governance through its unique process of peer reviews and assessments. These efforts have played a pivotal role in enhancing citizen participation in governance processes and promoting peer-to-peer dialogues among heads of state and government. In doing so, it has evolved into a tool that embodies the fundamental principle of African solutions to African problems.
So nobody must stand at a distance and merely say, I'm hoping. Engage, get closer, point to the wrongs when they happen.
The work of the APRM must not only end with the leaders.
The APRM needs to be citizen-driven.
Citizen-driven.
A people-centered program.
And I think that the APRM provides a unique platform for civil society, business and government to talk about governance issues in ways that are sometimes not possible or not encouraged in countries.
Moreover, the APRM actively promotes citizen engagement by prioritizing the inclusion of women and youth in its governance programs. This deliberate effort aims to ensure broader representation and active participation of these vital segments of society in shaping governance and policy initiatives.
The youth and the women of this continent are really not just the future of the continent, but our biggest asset right from now.
We have to include the women because bad governance has basically affected most women. Conflict and wars have affected mainly women and children.
In this regard, we must collectively and decisively include the youth in seeking solutions that will drive concrete political action and commitments from all duty barriers.
So the youth are you could say, the heartbeat, the majority of our population on the continent. So we cannot really envisage this future Africa united continent without factoring in the role and position of our youth in it.
The issues of the youth are not issues of biology. The question is, what right ideas do you have?
In relation with its co-mandate, the mechanism has made notable achievements. To date, 26 countries have undertaken the first country review. Additionally, the APRM has successfully conducted 8 targeted reviews on specific areas. As part of the recent development of the Africa Governance Report on unconstitutional changes of government in Africa, the APRM has conducted targeted reviews on UCG in 5 countries. To safeguard the independence, integrity, credibility, and professionalism of the peer review process, the APR panel members are the custodians of the review process for undertaking in-country assessments, and this is done in accordance with the APRM mandate.
If you see the modality that we use to move this agenda, it is that you go into countries, you let them do their self-assessment. They themselves decide what is the status.
May I have your attention, please? May I have your attention, please, and kindly request you to take your seats. We will soon start with our program. May I please request you all to rise? These guys are late. Your guys are late. Stand up and have energy. I have to apologize for the miscommunication between me and protocol, but His Excellency the President will arrive in the hall very soon. But for now, you are all fit. You can stand for another 1 minute, I believe. Apologies. Thank you very much, His Excellency the President. He is now arriving, accompanied by Her Excellency the Vice President, the Prime Minister and Deputy Prime Minister. May I request that we sing the AU and the national anthems. Please be seated. Your Excellency, Dr. Nangolo Mbumba, President of the Republic of Namibia, Your Excellency, Dr. Netumbo Nandi Ndaitwah, Vice President of the Republic, Right Honorable Dr. Sarah Madira, the Prime Minister, Honorable Johnny Mutorwa, Deputy Prime Minister and Minister of Works and Transport, Honorable Rukas Sinimbo Muha, Chairperson of the National Council, Honorable Ministers and focal points present, Honorable Obert Kanjode, Director General of the National Planning Commission, Honorable Deputy Ministers, Members of Parliament, Dr. George Smata, Secretary to Cabinet, Your Worship, Queen Kamati, Mayor of the City of Windhoek, Your Excellencies, members of the Diplomatic Corps, Dr. Abdoulaye Jane, Chairperson of Eminent Persons of the APRM, Ambassador Wilfried Mvula, Chairperson of the National Governing Council, Ambassador Ombeni Johan Sefue, our good friend of Namibia, and former lead panelist for Namibia, Dr. Rachel Mukanamana, representing the Continental Secretariat, Inspector General of Police, esteemed APRM families, and please allow me to say, ladies and gentlemen, and all protocol observed. A very good morning to you all. I would like to take this opportunity to welcome you all to State House this morning to witness the launch of the country review report of Namibia by His Excellency the President. Thank you very much for finding time from your busy schedules. The launch of the report is a milestone for Namibia. In terms of the APRM statute, the launch signifies the country's preparedness to implement the National Program of Action. Indeed, Namibia is ready to implement fully its commitment to the APRM since our accession to the mechanism in January 2017. My name is Lineke Ramboti. I'm the Chief Executive Officer and focal point of the APRM Namibian chapter, and I will be your Director of Proceedings this morning. And as such, I have no intention of making a speech. Let me therefore invite Ambassador Wilfried Mvula, Chairperson of the National Governing Council, to deliver the welcoming remarks. Ambassador Mvula, the floor is yours.
Thank you, Master of Ceremonies. Your Excellency, Dr. Nangolo Mbumba, President of the Republic of Namibia, Her Excellency, Dr. Netumbo Nandi Ndaitwa, Vice President of the Republic, the Right Honorable Dr. Sarah Kugongelo Amadila, Prime Minister, Comrade John Mutorwa, Deputy Prime Minister and Minister of Works and Transport, Honorable Lucas Sinimbo Muher, Chairperson of the National Council, Honorable Ministers, Honorable Director General of National Planning Commission, Comrade Obert Kanjode, please allow me to recognize you all and abide by the protocol established by the MC, and maybe to reach out to everybody so you don't feel excluded, just to say good morning to you all. Your Excellency, please allow me on behalf of the APRM Namibia family to warmly welcome you all to the launching of our country review report of Namibia. Namibia was peer-reviewed for the first time at the 31st African Peer Review Forum of Heads of State and Government in February 2022. The Namibian delegation then was led by the Right Honorable Sarah Kugongelwa Amadila, the Prime Minister. The forum directed Namibia to finalize its National Plan of Action and to implement the recommendations contained in that report. A process comprising of all stakeholders began in all earnest in 2022-2023 to finalize and harmonize the National Plan of Action within the existing national frameworks. Subsequently, the report was submitted to Cabinet for consideration. Aware of the role government will play as the key stakeholder, Cabinet approved the National Plan of Action and directed the National Planning Commission to launch the Country Review Report of Namibia during the current financial year. Your Excellency, ladies and gentlemen, the APRM national structures conducted several benchmarking exercises with 6 APRM participating member states as part of the best practices and experience sharing, which is aimed at sensitizing member states and enhance peer learning exchange on the institutionalization of the APRM national structures within our respective countries. It is in this context, Your Excellency, that I am happy to inform you that today we are joined by representatives from South Africa, Sierra Leone, Ghana, all belonging to the APRM family as part of the continuation of experience sharing and peer learning. With these few remarks, Your Excellency, ladies and gentlemen, again, welcome to the launch of the Country Review Report for Namibia, an aspect we regard as a milestone, and I urge you to meaningfully contribute to the implementation and realization of its recommendation in the form of the National Plan of Action that is contained in the same report. Asante sana. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Ambassador Mvula, for the welcoming remarks. And may I now, on your behalf, invite Dr. Rachel Mukamunana, Acting Director of Country Reviews and Assessment at the Continental Secretariat, to deliver her remarks on behalf of the Continental Secretariat. Dr. Rachel Mukamunana, the floor is yours, Madam.
Your Excellency Dr. Nangolo Mbumba, President of the Republic of Namibia, Your Excellency Dr. Netumbo Nandi Ndaitwah, Vice President of the Republic of Namibia, Right Honorable Prime Minister Dr. Sarah Kugongelwa Amadila, Honorable Ministers, Deputy Ministers, and senior government officials, Excellency Dr. Abdoulaye Jane, lead panel member for Namibia and former chairperson of the APR panel of eminent persons, Excellency Amara Kallon, Minister of Public Administration and Political Affairs of Sierra Leone and former chairperson of the APRM Committee of Focal Points, Ambassador Ombeni Johan Sefue, former lead panelist for Namibia, ambassadors, high commissioners accredited to Namibia, Ambassador Linekela Mboti, APRM Focal Point, Ambassador Wilfred Mvula, chairperson of the National Governing Council, distinguished members of the APRM National Governance Council, members of the APRM National Secretariat, and APRM family, distinguished guests, members of the press, ladies and gentlemen, all protocols observed. It is with great honor and privilege that I stand before you today on behalf of Professor Eddie Maloka, the Chief Executive Officer of the African Peer Review Mechanism Continental Secretariat. Today marks a significant milestone in the APRM process of Namibia as we gather here in Windhoek to launch the APRM Country Review Report for Namibia. Your Excellencies, this launch is taking place at an unfortunate time as we mourn the passing of a giant, President Hage Geingob. President Geingob was a champion of Pan-Africanism and regional integration, and he played a pivotal role in Namibia's accession to the APRM and the establishment of the national structures soon thereafter. His dedication to the ideals of Pan-Africanism, good governance, and development will be forever remembered and cherished by all of us. May his soul rest in eternal peace. Your Excellencies, it was in 2003 when our leaders, African heads of states and government, took a bold and unprecedented decision to subject themselves on a voluntary basis to a self-assessment process in order to review progress in compliance and achievement of mutually agreed standards of governance in an effort to improve the quality of governance and foster development in Africa. Namibia heeded the call and acceded to the APRM in January 2017 at the APRM forum held in Addis Ababa, Ethiopia. The APRM commended the government and the APRM national structures who immediately embarked on APRM core review functions, including undertaking the APRM targeted review on youth unemployment in December 2019, and thereafter a comprehensive review in October 2021. Both review reports have been tabled at the APR Forum of Heads of States and Government. Your Excellencies, ladies and gentlemen, today's event is a culmination of extensive collaboration and dedication from various stakeholders, including government officials, civil society organizations, the private sector, and ordinary Namibian citizens, who collectively discussed and agreed on governance and development challenges facing the country and proposed recommendations as contained in this country review report and its national program of action. As we delve into the findings and the recommendations outlined in the report, we are reminded that the APRM is not merely an evaluation exercise, but a catalyst for positive change. The insights gleaned from this review will serve as a roadmap for strengthening governance, promoting socioeconomic transformation, and advancing the well-being for all Namibians. Moreover, this report underscores the importance of continuous dialogue and collaboration among all stakeholders. It is through constructive engagement and collective action that we can address the complex challenges facing our countries and unlock the full potential of our beloved continent. Your Excellency, Mr. President, in conclusion, I and my colleagues from the Continental Secretariat would like to express our sincere gratitude to the government and the people of Namibia for the warm hospitality and your unwavering support throughout this journey. Thank you very much for your kind attention.
Thank you very much, Dr. Mukamunana, for the statement, and in particular the kind words you have expressed about Namibia. Thank you once again for the support you render to the Namibia as a Continental Secretariat throughout the process leading to the finalization of the country review report we will be launching today. At this point in time, permit me to invite Dr. Abdoulaye Diané, former chairperson of Eminent Persons of APRM and lead panelist for Namibia, to present the key highlights of the report and at the same time formally hand over the report to His Excellency the President. Dr. Diané, you may wish to take the floor.
Thank you very much, Mr. Ambassador. Your Excellency, Dr. Nangola Mbumba, President of the Republic of Namibia, Your Excellency, Dr. Netumbo Nandi Ntwalwa, Vice President of the Republic of Namibia, and Madam, I apologize if I in any way don't pronounce your name in the appropriate manner, Right Honorable Prime Minister, Dr. Sarah Kungangelwa Amadla, Honorable Ministers, with your permission, can I stand on existing protocol? It is my pleasure and honor to address you at the launch of the country review report on Namibia and to hand over the report to His Excellency, the President. Your Excellencies, ladies and gentlemen, Namibia is commended by the panel for demonstrating the highest political will and determination in implementing the APRM program. Since the accession of Namibia in 2017, this country has been peer-reviewed twice, including in February 2020 for the targeted review on youth employment, and in February 2022 for this first country review report. This country has also participated fully in continental APRM processes and has undergone peer exchanges with Uganda, Rwanda, and indeed with Sierra Leone that is ably represented by their dynamic minister here. While providing this provided peer review opportunities to other countries, including your neighboring country of Botswana. The panel congratulates and expresses gratitude to Your Excellency Dr. Mumba for Namibia's leadership and commitment to the APRM. We also congratulate the APRM Namibia team led by His Excellency Ambassador Mboti who is the APRM focal point for Namibia, and CEO of the APRM Secretariat, Ambassador Alfred Mvula, my former colleague when he served in Addis Ababa, who is the chairperson of the Governing Council, and all members of the NDC for ensuring Namibia's review was completed to the highest standards. Allow me also, on behalf of the panel, to congratulate my former colleague, Ambassador Sefwe, who was my predecessor as the lead panelist during the review process, and Ambassador Sefwe himself is here. But I understand that in fact he is Namibian in many respects. Last but not least, let me on this occasion also pay tribute to former President Hage, who started this process in 2017 and gave it the necessary support, the necessary leadership, the necessary drive, which facilitated maybe the ceremony in which we are participating in today. The whole continent respects the former president for his leadership, for his intellect, and his commitment to regional integration. We will all miss him. I extend my condolences to his family, and we pray that his soul rests in peace. Your Excellencies, ladies and gentlemen, we are here today to celebrate the launch of Namibia's country review report. Namibia is to be commended for completing the review processes in the midst of COVID-19 pandemic. Despite the ravages of the pandemic, this country trained its national structures, finalized the research phase for the country self-assessment report, hosted the review mission, and integrated recommendations from the National Plan of Action, accompanying the country review report in Namibia's 6th National Development Plan, the NDP6. Excellencies, ladies and gentlemen, the country review report highlights both commendable practices that Namibia can share with its peers across this continent, as well as challenges in governance. The 11 commendable practices include Namibia's world-class transport infrastructure, standards in national statistics, codes of ethics in public offices, the BBB Women Empowerment Program in agriculture, and many others. The challenges include implementation of policies, the need to accelerate the policy on devolution as part of the transfer of delegated responsibilities to the regions and local authorities, and land reform, amongst others. Excellencies, ladies and gentlemen, the launch of the country review report marks the start of the most important phase for APRM, which is implementation of the National Program of Action that responds to the challenges identified in the report. Challenges identified by Namibia, Namibian citizens, and Namibian leadership. So it is really a Namibian-owned report. It should be emphasized that going forward, APRM should reach out to all the stakeholders by the NPC for budgeting and implementation of the recommendations. The National Plan of Action has been harmonized with the 6th National Development Plan and will need to be followed up regularly by APRM Namibia and the National Planning Commission with ministries, departments, agencies, as well as decentralized bodies and the private sector. In conclusion, we in the panel are optimistic that Namibia has all the tools to implement its National Plan of Action in order to improve governance and contribute to the attainment of Namibia's National Development Plan, as well as Agenda 2063, Africa's long-term plan for socio-economic development. We found APRM exercise in Namibia to be exemplary in all its aspects, and worthy of emulation. The APRM thanks the government of the Republic of Namibia under the leadership of His Excellency the President for pursuing good governance through the APRM program. We pledge to work with you in producing regular progress reports on implementation. It is, I think, thanking you, ladies and gentlemen, for your attention. It will be my great pleasure and honor to hand over the report to His Excellency the President.
Thank you very much, Dr. Jane, for the presentation of the key highlights of Namibia and the handing over of the country review report to His Excellency the President. Your Excellency, Dr. Netumbo Nandi-Ndaitwah, Vice President of the Republic, Right Honorable Prime Minister, distinguished invited guests, ladies and gentlemen. It is now my single honor to request His Excellency Dr. Nangolo Mbumba, President of the Republic of Namibia, to deliver the keynote address and formally launch the country review report of the Republic of Namibia. Your Excellency, the floor is yours, sir.
Thank you very much. Let us take our seats. Ambassador Linekera Mboti, our Director of Proceedings, Your Excellency Dr. Netumbo Nandi-Ndaitwah, Vice President of the Republic of Namibia, Right Honorable Dr. Sarah Kugongelwa Amadila, Prime Minister of the Republic of Namibia, Honorable John Mutorwa, Deputy Prime Minister and Minister of Work and Transport, Honorable Professor Peter Kachavivi, Speaker of the National Assembly, represented by anybody who is a member of Parliament here, Honorable Lucas Inimbo Muha, Chairperson of the National Council, who is sitting in front here, Your Lordship Peter Shivute, Chief Justice, any other judge or lawyer can represent him, Honorable Ministers and Deputy Ministers, Honorable McHenry Venani, Leader of the Official Opposition in Parliament, and any other member who come from other parties, Honorable Members of Parliaments, Your Excellencies, members of the Diplomatic Corps, ably represented by the Dean of the Diplomatic Corps in Namibia, Honorable Dr. Abdulin Janel, Chairperson of the African Peer Review Panel of Eminent Persons. Now, the permanent Professor Eddie Maloka is not here, ably represented by Madame Rachel Munamuka, I'm sorry for murdering your name, Ambassador Mary Antoinette Rose Quatre, incoming Chief Executive Officer of the Continental Secretariat, Ambassador Ombeni Swefu, former lead panel for Namibia, all the other home ambassadors, I have you here, distinguished members of the National Governing Council, senior government officials, distinguished invited guests, members of the media, ladies and gentlemen, good morning. I learned when I was in secondary school, one of my teachers said something was bittersweet. And I could not understand then. I have learned when it said bittersweet. We have ended the mourning period of His Excellency Dr. Hage Gottfried Geingob. But since Madam Rachel raised the issue, I am in a bittersweet way, because we are here to launch something very good and positive and for the future. I still have a duty to say, let us stand up and observe a minute of silence in his honor. Attention. Thank you very much, and let us sit down. I am honored to welcome you to State House for the launch of the first Africa Peer Review Mechanism Country Review Report for Namibia. The launch of this report is a clear testimony of the Namibia government's commitment to enhancing the country's governance architecture by strengthening processes, systems, and institutions as a means of delivering socio-economic development. The APRM mandate is aimed at ensuring that the policies and practices of participating African Union member states are in conformity with the agreed political, economic, and corporate governance values, codes, and standards, so as to achieve the objectives of the mutually agreed upon Development Agenda 2063. Since Namibia's accession to the mechanism in January 2017, we have established national structures which include a diverse 13-member National Governing Council under the leadership of Ambassador Wilfred Mvula, to serve for a period of 3 years, with a clear mandate to provide strategic policy guidance on the APRM country processes. Additionally, Ambassador Dinekra Mboti was appointed focal point and chief executive officer to lead the National Secretariat, coordinating APRM activities in Namibia. In September 2020, the National Governing Council commenced the country self-assessment report, which paved the way for the APRM to conduct a fully-fledged peer review of the Republic of Namibia in 2021. In this context, I would like to thank the University of Namibia for conducting a credible country self-assessment report, which was a critical component in the country's preparedness to conduct the full-based review report. Importantly, in November 2021, the APRM Continental Secretariat conducted a review mission to Namibia, where discussions were carried out in a frank and open manner that reflected the diversity of views in our democratic society. The aforementioned processes have enabled Namibia to make tangible progress in mainstreaming the APRM into its governance architecture, having completed the targeted review report on youth unemployment and the country review report since accession to the mechanism in 2017. Ladies and gentlemen, I would like to commend the outgoing board of the Namibian Governing Council for their commitment and dedication to the work of the APRM in the country, as well as the favorite ambassador of everybody else, Ambassador Sefu, the then lead panel member for Namibia, and his team for producing the first country review report of Namibia. Once again, Ambassador Sefu, please raise your hand so that everybody can see. While launching the country report is important, the measure of success will be how Namibia effectively integrates the recommendations of the country review report into existing sectoral strategies and plans. I therefore welcome the initiative by the Continental Secretariat to mobilize funding towards augmenting national resources in the implementation of the National Plan of Action. Government will consider the possibility of establishing a permanent national secretariat to continue coordinating APRM activities and programs in the country, thereby ensuring the full implementation of the National Plan of Action. Therefore, we look forward to the outcomes of the feasibility study to be conducted inclusive of stakeholder engagements. Finally, let me seize this opportunity to commend Professor Eddie Maloka, the outgoing Chief Executive Officer of the APRM Continental Secretariat, for his tireless work towards improving governance on our continent. Equally, I would like to congratulate Ambassador Mary, I hope these names are correctly not attached to other people, Mary Antoina Rosé Quatre, for her appointment as the new CEO of the APRM Continental Secretariat, as appointed by the 37th Ordinary Session of the African Union Assembly of Heads of States and Government that concluded on 19 February 2024. Director Proceedings, I think, helped me to get my book. Thank you very much. Some people are faster than others. Your Excellency, the Vice President, Right Honorable Prime Minister, Honorable Deputy Prime Minister, all ministers, all members of the Namibian government, our partners, social partners, international partners, it is now my distinct honor to officially launch the country review report of Namibia, and I urge all stakeholders to cooperate in the full implementation of the National Plan of Action, and I thank you.
Thank you very much, Your Excellency, for the keynote address and the launch of the country review report of Namibia. As a diplomat, I learned not to summarize directives for obvious reasons. Directives are meant to be implemented. Suffice only to say, the statement by His Excellency the President will be made available and will be circulated widely. Thank you once again, Your Excellency, for finding time from your very busy schedule to launch the country review report of Namibia. And on that positive note, may I now invite our last speaker, Dr. Betty Schroeder, Vice Chairperson of the National Governing Council of Namibia, to move the vote of thanks. Dr. Schroeder, the floor is yours.
To the fourth President of the Republic of Namibia, Your Excellency Dr. Nangolo Mbumba, to the Vice President of the Republic of Namibia, Your Excellency Dr. Netumbo Nandi Ndaitwah, to the Prime Minister, the Right Honorable Dr. Sarah Kukongelo Amadila, to the Deputy Prime Minister, Honorable John Mutarwa, and Minister of Works and Transport, to the Director of Ceremonies, Ambassador Nilekela Mboti, I stand on the protocol already established. When I looked at the program, I saw that we are allocated 10 minutes. I patiently prepared myself on 10 minutes, and when I observed the room, including His Excellency, I saw that we keep to 3 minutes. I'm quite nervous to cut on the vote of thanks, but with your indulgence, please allow me to state the following. Allow me to extend a vote of gratitude and appreciation by stating the following. Warren Bennis once said that leaders have only themselves to work with and that they are raw materials. Only when we know what we've made of and what we want to make of it can we begin our lives. In my opinion, Excellencies, Mr. President, if the late Dr. Hage Godfrey Geingob, the third President of the Republic of Namibia, were to write his memoirs, he would have focused on democracy, good governance, and life's lessons. Because humans are naturally curious and motivated by necessity, as he explained in the thesis he wrote, focusing on this particular aspects. I want to move into reading Revelations 14:13 that says, "Then I heard a voice from heaven saying to me, 'Write, blessed are the dead who die in the Lord from now on. Yes, says the Spirit, that they may rest from their labors and their works follow them.'" I'm using this scripture in order to thank our late president for the work that he has done that surely follows us through this event that we have today. With your indulgence, I wish to reflect and connect the achievement of this country's self-assessment report to his thesis publication in sharing 3 observations of his legacy and thanking him for the good work he has done through implementing, not only writing, but also actively implementing his thesis. For those of us who have not read it, the publication is titled State Formation in Namibia, Promoting Democracy and Good Governance, and it was published in 2004. This publication examines how to encourage good governance, promote human rights, and build state institutions to support these policies. The study also conducts a democratic audit on Namibia using Swedish normative tools. The author of this text undertook research out of necessity, seeking out problems, challenges, and opportunities for Namibia in state formation, including strengthening democracy and good governance. The author's perspective, Your Excellencies, and that of many other Namibians who participated in the country's political evolution were also considered. The research aimed to identify problems and find solutions. This is relevant for politicians as it examines how the West management of events impacted Namibia's transition from colonialism to democracy. It should also be useful for many other countries, and as we share experiences through the peer review mechanism in Africa and elsewhere in identifying challenges thrown by conflicts between us. Mr. President, in my analysis, in our appreciation to you, I want to thank you on behalf of the National Governing Council and the Secretariat. We want to thank you by saying the following. We have made reflections I have made on the pivotal human condition and how human beings deal with tragedies. I observed you for the most difficult 4 weeks, in my opinion, of your leadership, and I came to the realization that the human spirit is very resilient, even in the throes of multiple griefs because of tragedy. In this case, the passing on of our champion on the African peer-reviewed targeted and country assessment reports is a notable tragedy that catapulted you to a particular swift phenomenon. It occurred to me that until one has experienced that kind of loss, it is impossible to know the depth of its finality. Mr. President, you acted swiftly and you made this day possible. Thank you for that. As the old adage says, you never know how strong you are until being strong is the only choice you have. I've observed you in moving in this only choice by being strong and immediately taking over leadership for the Republic of Namibia. Today we are indeed grateful, Excellency, because just as the Apostle Paul, the late president, planted this process, but God has chosen you to water this seed, and he will surely let it grow into completion if we join hands collectively. Mr. President, you are intentionally chosen and carefully appointed for a time such as this. Honorable Netumbo Nandi Ndaitwah, thank you for being ever available, even when you were the Minister of International Relations, in supporting this process. We appreciate your presence, your good guidance, and your motherly support. Thank you for being that leader. To our ever beautiful Prime Minister, Honorable Sarah Kukongela Amadila, thank you for your immense support, guidance, and ever-ready availability whenever you had to stand in on behalf of the late president and the nation to present and assess our progress. There were times that you were not so excited about the report, that you questioned us, but we kept on reminding that this is an independent process and that government only need to reflect and add what they think we have not added. Thank you for accepting this report. To the entire cabinet of the Republic of Namibia, you have endorsed this report, and that has been a blessing and a milestone for the nation of Namibia. To the Minister from Sierra Leone, Honorable Amara Kalon, the APRM focal point, thank you for supporting Namibia and sharing experiences. I want to thank everyone who contributed their thoughts and insights. I don't want to miss anyone, but I especially want to thank the University of Namibia for this report and the tough times they had, back and forth, months, hard work, and weeks that they did not sleep, taking the frustrations that we have poured upon them. The NPC Director General, Honorable Obert Konjode, who also played a significant role in getting things done, including ensuring that he remains our link between us and to the cabinet. To the Minister in the Presidency, Honorable Christine Nwebes, to the governors and mayors, thank you for being our support system. Thank you, governors, for being our support system in the regions. This review was made possible because each of you and your teams in the regions gave us the necessary support, even when it was during a time not pleasant to you. To the head of the APRM National Secretariat of Ghana, Honorable Winifred Makota Sampong, thank you for your presence and your continuous support. We share experiences, and we thank you for sharing those experiences with us. To the current and former members of the NGC, you have outdone yourselves. We have worked beyond our assignments, days and nights, doing the unexpected and trying to deliver on the demands that were upon us. To the Ministry of Home Affairs, who played a big role in the facilitation of visas to our international participants, thank you for doing your part. To the lead panel members, Dr. Janet and Ambassador Sefue, thank you for having Namibia close to your heart. I've seen that, I've experienced that, and you've walked this journey with us. Thank you so much. I want to sincerely thank our esteemed chairperson, Ambassador Wilfred Mvula, and the CEO and focal point of the National Secretariat, Ambassador Mboti. Your unwavering patience, exceptional wisdom, decency, integrity, and dignity throughout the entire process have inspired us. You have been our leaders, our parents, our mentors, and our role models. Your guidance and support helped us successfully navigate the challenges and reach our destinations. Thank you for your calm demeanor. It is always refreshing. I know there were times that as governing council members, we were trying to act out of the ordinary, but with your calmness, you kept on keeping us focused. To the National Secretariat, particularly, I want to single out Festus. Since the inception of this process, who has been alone in the office, providing both administrative and technical support to both the focal point and the NGC, a particular thanks to you. To Dr. Alphonse Witbeen, my daughter Victorina, and Mr. Kabuku for your hard work. We don't have enough resources in the office, Your Excellency, but these 4 people have made it possible that we reach our achievements. To our stakeholders in all spheres of governance, for your unwavering, valuable support in the different spheres, you have surprised us. It was during the Christmas period and during times that you needed to spend time with your families. It was during times that government was busy doing final things for a year to close. But you were present and you made this report, you made sure that this report could be a reality. This report has its own story, the epiphany that depicts how we did our best to traverse all challenges in all different areas, and celebrating the results today, the official launch of the Namibia country assessment as done by our 4th President of the Republic of Namibia. In conclusion, Excellency, we thank you for reiterating the recommendations. In the outcomes of one of his thematic areas, the late President identified effective government and said that this principle concerns strong government. Effective government might be measured by 3 indicators, which is resource control, decision-making capability, and outcome control. We agree today that Namibia have reached that level, and Namibia is committed, as you have indicated earlier, Mr. President, that we are looking at implementing the recommendations in establishing the APRM permanent structure through a government gazette to clearly define the operations. I want to thank you for your attention, and I want to close with the following quote from Narendra Modi, and I quote, "Mere good governance is not enough. It has to be pro-people and proactive. Good governance is putting people at the center of development processes," end of quote, and I thank you.
Thank you very much, Vice Chairperson of the National Governing Council, for that moving vote of thanks. Thank you very much. The last item on our program is the photo session. So there will be photo opportunities with His Excellency the President after the anthems. Now, I'm told it will take place outside the banquet hall, and protocol will lead us to that. Because of time, the order will be as follows. The first photo opportunity will be with all the speakers, the head table, the Deputy Prime Minister, Minister in the Presidency, Director General National Planning Commission, Ambassador Sefue, and of course yours truly. So that will be the first opportunities. The second opportunities, I would invite the members of the National Governing Council, both current and outgoing, for the photo session with His Excellency the President. The third, I will invite the distinguished delegate from participating member states for the photo opportunity with the President as follows: the Republic of Sierra Leone, the Republic of South Africa, and the Republic of Ghana. 4.3 is the photo opportunities with staff members from the Continental Secretariat. And lastly is the photo opportunity with staff members from the National Secretariat. Of course, there will be a photo opportunity with all of you some other times. And I quote, "In the Namibian house, no one should feel left out," unquote. I thank you all for witnessing the launch of the country review report of Namibia. And on that note, we have come to the end of our program. And may I now request all of you to rise for the AU and national anthems. And I thank you very much.
Let us all unite and celebrate together the victories won for our liberation. Let us dedicate ourselves to rise together to defend our liberty and unity. All sons and daughters of Africa, flesh of the sun and flesh of the sky, let us make Africa the tree of life. Namibia, land of the brave freedom fight, we have won. Glory to their bravery, whose blood waters our freedom. We give our love and loyalty, together in unity. Contrasting beautiful Namibia, Namibia, our country, beloved land of Savanas, hold high the banner of liberty. Namibia, our country, Namibia, motherland, we love thee.
Thank you. Thank you very much. And the protocol, please read us.